Hey there everybody, sorry I'm just a little bit late getting on. I was having that issue again where my phone didn't want to rotate the right direction. So I had to do a quick reboot this time because my cameraman is upstairs on dad duty. Alrighty, so hope you guys have all of your supplies ready to go. In case you didn't catch it right away, here is the list of what you need tonight. You need a card base that is 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4.25. Mine is cinnamon cider. Then you need a layer that's 3.5 by 4.75, and I said it can be the same color as the base, or you can choose a second color to complement your DSP. I went with the first option, so I have a piece of cinnamon cider that I ran through my Tasteful Textiles embossing folder, so it's got a little bit of texture on it. And the reason I did that, I'll show you in a second here, is because my DSP piece, which is 1.75 by 4.25, is also just plain cinnamon cider. So there wasn't really a good accent or secondary color that I wanted with this because I wanted to keep this very monotone for what I was using it for. And then you need a piece of neutral cardstock. Mine is vanilla, so you can use white or vanilla. That's 2.5 by 3.75. And we're gonna start with that one. You're gonna take your, hopefully you gathered some stamps, and hi Carol! Gathered some stamps and possibly phrases or whatever you need to fill up this piece right here. So we're gonna put images, you're gonna put phrases. I have one large image that I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit more. There we go. All right, I am using the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set tonight. And that is on page 52 of the January to June mini catalog. And I'll show you that in just a little bit. Wanted to remind you that they came out with a set of dies to match. That's not gonna be in the catalog. So if you're interested in that, give me a holler and I'll give you the information on how to get those. So the images, the 4 large chicken images, I'll have a die to cut them out with. And then there's bonus ones like a happy birthday, a little ducky, some extra fencing, and little accent pieces. So kind of a fun little deal. All right, so grab your piece of neutral cardstock. Hi Mom, glad you're here tonight. And I'm gonna take my large chicken image with the balloon on it, and I'm gonna ink that up in cinnamon cider. Now, I am going to be coloring him in a little bit, but I didn't want a dark black background. Hey, Kathy Jo! And so instead, I'm going to use my cinnamon cider, which will work with my blends because it's also a water-based ink, just like Memento is. And my blends, of course, whoops, I have a little smudge in the middle of that. All right, we're going to redo that one. It's hard to see sometimes on camera. All right, excuse my head if it's in the way. There we go. Okay. Chicken and balloon, there we go. And that is the beauty of paper, is that there's always a second side. All right, so while you guys are continuing to fill up your image, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with mine here. So I'm gonna color him with blends, and like I said, this is an alcohol-based marker, so you want a water-based ink pad. So Memento is the black of what you wanna use, and if you have the opposite way, if you have our Stampin' Write markers, which are water-based. I know, magic paper, right Mary? It's perfect. If you have water-based markers, like our normal markers, then you want an alcohol-based ink, in which case you want Stays On. All right, so I'm gonna do a little quick drive-by with my blend, giving him some orange feet and an orange beak, which of course is not really orange, it's pumpkin pie. Wanna make sure that I give my shout out to the correct color. All right, and I'm gonna add a little bit of dark to his crown. And highlight under, highlight in the wings a little bit, highlight the tail pieces. And as you can see, I'm really kind of just plopping color. I'm not really being very careful about where it's going. I kind of like to play with that a little bit because the lighter color is what's gonna bring it all together now. So I'm gonna take my brush end of that, and I like to do just little circular motions through what I need. You can leave a little white space because it will bleed out a little bit. So you don't have to go right up to the edge of your image. All right. Okay. So again, leave a little bit of white. It'll bleed a little bit more as it kind of settles into the paper, so to speak. All right. And what I like to highlight around then, make sure you catch where those darker parts met the lighter parts and just literally blend. That's why they're called blends. You're blending that color together and blending it into the tree. Okay, so I've got my chicken. Gonna blend a little bit more in there. All right, my chicken's ready to go. I'm gonna add a little pop of color with Magenta Madness. Gonna put a little of that into there. Go around. Now remember, if you only have one shade, because they come lights and darks, you can do one layer like that, so you can see the middle is still very, very light. And then I'm gonna go back in on some of the edging here with a second pass. And even though this is my light version, it's gonna darken up what I've already got, okay? Another way to get that nice little kind of highlight, or where a light would hit it, is to get the color lifter. So what I'm gonna show you here is I'm gonna take and run that on these little bits here. And as you can see, it has like a bleaching effect, and it's gonna pull the color back out again. So I'm gonna bring it up a little bit. So you can see that that's a little bit lighter now too, where I had already colored. And the more you do that, the more it'll bleed out, or lighten up, I guess I should say. So like I said, it's kind of like a bleaching technique. Okay, so I've got my chicken. And now, hopefully you've gotten your paper all ready to go. So let's start with your card base. Again, that was 5.5 by 8.5. Give that a nice crease. And you're gonna take that layer then that you had, that was the 3.5 by 4 3/4. And we're gonna put some adhesive on that. And put that down so it has kind of like an even border. Okay, and again, I told you I used the same color on mine, so mine's not gonna be a little bit harder to see, but I added texture to that layer with my embossing folder. All right, then you're gonna go for your DSP layer, and it's gonna be used horizontally. So adhesive on the back of that. And that should fit edge to edge and about in the center again. Okay, and again, at any point, if you wanna use your dimensionals and get some height and lift in these, please feel free. That's the whole idea behind what those will do. They'll give you some dimension, some lift, literally why they're called dimensionals. So I'm actually gonna take my dimensionals onto my neutral piece. All right, so my neutral piece just has my chicken on it. I'm keeping this part really super simple. And as always, I have a stepped up version that I can show you. Okay, so this guy is gonna go centered right in the middle of that. Okay, so there is my quick and simple chicken birthday card. Any chicken fans out there? Tina, I know you're a chicken chick. All right, so there you go. There's my super simple layout. So then I'm gonna show you guys a couple more that I did with that same concept. Oops, they're on the side of the table. Here I use the Dandy Garden. The background image is just stamped tone on tone here, and then the thank you phrase stamped over that. I used some paper from the Dandy Garden as well. And then that's, this background part here is the pearlized paper. And it's probably not easy to see in the camera, but it's that real shiny, pretty pearly color, which kind of pulls out the whiteness and the off-whiteness of that little part right there. And then I added a little bit of mellow moss, or Mossy Meadow, sorry, mellow moss, wow, that's a really old color. Mossy Meadow twine that I then, once I tied it in the knot, I separated the fibers. So it just kind of makes it a little more pom-pommy and frou-frou-y, or whatever the words are that you would like to use there. So that's one version. Then I used Enjoy the Moment, and this is basic gray and gray granite. The camera looks like it's taking a little blue out of that gray color. So again, I used the Color Family DSP. This is actually the opposite side of the one I used here that has the little wood grain imagery. It's got the words on it, and if you look really closely, it's to love what we do and share what we love, which is part of our Statement of the Heart at Stampin' Up! And then it's repeated in all the languages of all the countries that Stampin' Up! Is in. So that's kind of a cute little shout out to us demonstrator folks. All right, so I used the Enjoy the Moment stamp set to do the seed pods there. Again, Enjoy the Moment. I didn't do anything special to the layers, so those are just straight up cardstock, but I did add a little gray granite shimmery ribbon to that little part right there. Okay, so now let me show you what I did with my stepped up version of the birthday chick. So again, this is something you can think of as you're putting these together. I took some of the starkness off of the solid piece of vanilla by sponging the edges and around, again with my cinnamon cider. I stamped happy birthday on another layer and added that on top, again sponging across that as well. I added a little magenta ribbon to the bottom of the balloon. And as you can see, I switched up how I did the DSP. So same DSP, the one with the wood grain pattern in it, but I did that as the layer here, and then I added just a thin border of vanilla behind it to make it stand out even more. And then this is the opposite, no, it's not the opposite side, I should say. This is that Natural Touch specialty paper that was brought out special with the birthday, or not the birthday, the butterfly collection recently. This is, hi Kathy. This will be available through, I believe it's, I'm gonna have to double check on that, the end of the month. So I have to double check and see that that's still in there, but I'm pretty sure that's what it went for. And I used that little piece across the back. And then I wanted to show you too on the back side of this, oh shoot, camera's not gonna do me justice here. There's a little bit of texture and pattern in there, but it's almost more of a peachy tone. So it looked really pretty, like with our new papaya color, or some of the lighter, probably like crumb cakey brown, and even just the plain ivory, the vanilla. Looks really, really cool on the other side. And I always love the sound it makes because it's so thin. All right, so that again was Natural Touch specialty paper. All right, let me raise these up again so you can get a little bit closer look. So again, there's, I love doing the very simple layout. It's a really quick and easy put together in a few seconds kind of an idea. And then you can always take that and, like I said, step it up a little bit more, dress it up a little more with your accessories, what else you might be using. So a couple little extra pieces of paper or a snip of ribbon here and there just gives it a completely different look. And you can see I didn't color so heavy. I let some of that natural part of the stamp show through too. So a lot more white space on that to make my chicken shine a little more. All right, so speaking of Hey Birthday Chick and the dies, again, those are on page 52 of the January to June mini catalog, which I hope you guys all have. That's what the cover looks like. It will be good through the end of June, so we're coming up on almost time to be done with it, amazingly. Although I guess it is really only the end of April, but but I wanted to point out to you too, Stampin' Up! Shows you guys the same thing that I've been showing you on all of these videos, is start with a simple, dress it up a little, dress it up a lot. So here you can see they added a couple of balloons, different coloring on the chicken, more layers behind, some twine, just gives it a completely different look, and again, more dressed up. And so step it up however you like. So keep it simple, step it up a little, step it up a lot. All right, I'm gonna bring back in those samples again so you can see. Whoops. All right, here's the two there with the Dandy, again, Dandy Garden and Enjoy the Moment. Those are each in the, should be the January to June catalog as well. I had to remember that for a second. But yes, they are. Okay, yep. And then my chickens. And again, the Hey Birthday Chick is in the January to June, and if you want information on the dies, I'll add it into the post when I post what the samples look like after the video goes on to the Facebook page. All right, everybody, I hope you all had a really great Monday. Around our house, it definitely felt like a Monday. The kids went back to school. Well, Sam's already been going on Mondays, but Zach got to go back today for a full day of work, and hopefully he won't mind when he has to do it again tomorrow. It's kind of nice. He'll be able to do 4 days a week solid work up at school, so this will be great for him. A little bit more structure is always a good thing for Zach when he's concerned. And so yeah, it's kind of felt like a Monday for everybody, getting up early and getting on the bus and all that kind of fun stuff that we haven't been doing in quite a while. All right, again, I hope everybody has a really great rest of your night. Thanks for joining me today, and I will post information on the Facebook page, and then the video will get downloaded and posted on YouTube as well, so you can always find it quick and easy on there. All right, and don't forget to send samples or pictures of your samples that you've made, because I want to see what you guys are using, whether it's current or not current or whatever. I just want to see what you're crafting with, because it's always fun to share what we do. So thanks everybody. Have a great evening. Bye now.